couple of my favorite conventions. I did the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society, BASS, annual convention. I had no idea that bass fishing is a $2 billion business in the U.S. It's huge. So, and I'm not an angler, so everything looked odd to me, up to and including the convention brochure. On the cover, 22-foot Ranger bass boat, gorgeous. On the back end of it, 275 horsepower Mercury engine. So I held up the brochure that night and I said, that's a good looking boat. Is that really 275 horsepower? They're all nodding yes. I said, well, tell me something because I don't know. Just exactly how fast are these fish? 75 or 80 miles an hour, easy. Chase down a fish, you could chase down a cheetah. The president of Bass stood up and yelled this out loud. You got to get where the fish is. My mother was an English teacher. When I heard fish plural is singular, I heard the voices. Say it. Get paid. It was all I could do not to scream back, well, I'm betting they're not in English class. Gotta make sure I don't want to overdo my time here. Hang on, let's see. It is now 20:32. Military time. Must be some kind of effect of being on the Midway, all that. The other wildlife thing I did was the North Carolina Wildlife Club. Their big thing was deer hunting. And I in North Carolina, most of my peers hunted, deer, quail, whatever. I was not a big hunter. So I'm at this event, and I went to the cocktail party, as I did tonight, kind of soak up the ambiance. And I kept hearing people say this phrase, the sport of deer hunting, the sport of deer. So when I got on stage, I said, you guys really think deer hunting is a sport? And they're all nodding yes. I said, okay, I'll bite. Name me one other sport where your opponent has no idea he's playing. Until the opening gun goes off, the deer has no idea he won the coin toss and elected to receive. I mean, I could understand it being a sport if by North Carolina law you had to, I don't know, chase him down, tackle him, and choke him really hard. The other thing is, in North Carolina nowadays, you have to wear a certain amount of orange when you're hunting. And I knew why, but I asked the question of the audience, hoping for just the right response, and I got it. Why do you have to wear orange? A guy in the back yelled out, so another hunter will not mistake you for a deer. I said, so let me get this straight. Here in North Carolina, we're selling guns and ammunition to human beings who lack the ability to distinguish other human beings from deer? I said, forgive me, but could we clear it up with a simple, I don't know, leg count? Here's my philosophy. You find me in the woods on all fours, shoot me. We don't need a background check in North Carolina. We need an IQ test. I said, you know what we ought to do? We ought to do a photo lineup like the cops, a bunch of deer and a guy. Make it easy, famous deer, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen. You can't pick out that guy, no gun for you, Elmer Fudd. Okay, now, if you are a hunter, you know, in the United States, every year somebody mistakes another somebody for a deer and plugs them. Happened last October in Georgia. Good news is, guy who got shot just got winged, a couple of stitches, he's fine. But what I find most amusing is where he was. He lives out in the country. He was out behind his house, minding his own business, back there pruning a tree. See, as a comedian, I just wish I could have been in the woods with the two guys hunting right before the one guy pulled the trigger. Just to hear the conversation that led up to it. I'm guessing it was something like this. Hey, Bob. What? I think I see a deer. Where? On that ladder. What's he doing? Looks like yard work. Boom. Now, when I was a kid and my peers were hunting, there were no chemicals you could buy to enhance the chance you would bag a buck. I met a woman on Holland America whose son produces a product called Buck Bomb, B-O-M-B, Buck Bomb. He hired scientists who isolated the chemical a female deer gives off when they're in heat. They put it in an aerosol spray can, which is why I love America. We have no cure for cancer, but we got deer wee-wee in an aerosol can. And he says on the can attracts the buck, which turns out it does. What it does not say, what I believe should be a federally mandated warning, caution, this here is a concentrate. It will not only attract the deer, it's going to send him into a romantic frenzy. Because if you're a deer hunter, correct me if I'm wrong because I've never used it, the idea is you spray it around where you're waiting on the deer and then hope to goodness you kill him with the first shot. Because I got news for you, if I miss, I'm using that second round on myself. I don't think after Rudolph gets a face full of this aphrodisiac, that big boy's going to take no for an answer. I don't think the buck stops here. I don't think that's the case.